Good morning, Course 2. It's Mr. Belky back with another fantastic lesson for you today. But if we're being perfectly honest, it will only be mediocre at best. Anyway, scale factor, lesson 98, page 677 in your book. Let's get into it. So, when we're talking about scale factor, some of you maybe have made a model of a car, or maybe you have an RC car at home, and it says on the package 1.24, or maybe 1.18. Okay, that's the scale factor of that, or that's the scale of that vehicle. So what that's referring to is for every 1 inch on the model, that would be equivalent to 24 inches or 2 feet in real life. 1 inch on this model would equate to 18 inches in real life. Okay? So the bigger this number, the smaller the model. So if you see something that's like 1/64th, that's probably more along the lines of your Matchbox cars, whereas 1/24th would be a bigger RC vehicle. All right, so let's take a look at example 1. Example 1 says, a model airplane is built with a scale of 1 to 24. If the wingspan of the model is 18 inches, what's the wingspan of the actual plane in feet? All right, so we can show that by drawing a ratio box. Okay, and we got the scale and the actual measure, and then we have the model and the object. So the scale of the model is 1 to 24, and the actual measure is 18 inches, and we want to know what it is in feet. Okay? So we have 1 to 24 is equivalent to 18 over what? Cross multiply and divide. So 24 times 18, we would get 432 inches, divided by 1 is 432 inches. But wait, it didn't ask for our answer in inches, it asked for our answer in feet. So we have to convert inches to feet, and to do that, we would divide by 12, right? Because there are 12 inches in a foot. You can see that this way: if we had 432 inches over 1 times what unit multiplier? We want inches on the bottom. 1 foot is 12 inches. That way inches cancels with inches, and we have 432 times 1 is 432 divided by 12, which is 432 divided by 12. Okay, 12 goes into 43, 3 times 12 is 36, subtract, we get 7, bring down the 2, 12 goes into 72, 6 times 12 is 72, subtract, we get nothing, nothing to bring down, so it would be the equivalent of 36, and the label is feet. All right, let's look at example 2. Sophia is molding a model of a car from clay. The scale of the model is 1 to 36. The height of the car is 4 feet 6 inches. What should the height of the model be in inches? All right, so again, we're going to make a ratio box. And we got the scale to the actual and the model to the original. And the scale of the model to the original is 1 to 36, where 1 inch on the original, or on the model, is 36 inches on the original. Okay, and we know we want to find the measure. How tall is our car going to be? If the actual car is 4 feet 6 inches. All right, so in order to do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert 4 feet 6 inches to all inches. Okay, I know that 4 feet, I can multiply it by 12, because there are 12 inches in a foot, to give me 48 inches, plus 6 more inches gives me a total of 54 inches. Okay, so the actual is 54 inches, and I want to know what my model will be. So I have 1 is to 36 as what is to 54. Okay, And then I can cross multiply 54 times 1 and divide by 36. 54 divided by 36. 36 goes into 54 one time. I get 36, subtract, borrow from that. 14 minus 6 is 8. And 4 minus 3 is 1. And then I can put that 18 over the 36. 36 reduces down to 1/2. So it would be 1 1/2 inches for the model. Okay, so it's all about cross multiplying and dividing. That's the same thing you see in example 3. Now, getting into scale factor, let's take a look at a couple of triangles. So the first one we have is a 12 by 20 by 16. And then the bigger one is 15 by 20 and 25. All right, now in order to determine the scale factor, it says these two triangles are similar. Calculate the scale factor from the smaller triangle to the larger triangle. In other words, what do I have to do to the smaller triangle to get the larger one? What do I have to do to 20 to get 25? Okay. When I'm talking about scale factor, the dimension of this is going to be multiplied by the scale factor to give me this. So, in other words, 20 times the scale factor equals 25. And I want to figure out what is that scale factor. Another way to write that would be 20f equals 25. And now I can solve, right? Solve for f, divide by 20, divide by 20. F equals 1 1/4, or 1.25. Okay? So that's how you can determine the scale factor. Now let's look at example 5. Example 5 has a couple of cubes. All right? Well, not cubes, rectangular prisms. And this one is 2 by 3 by 4. 2 by 3 by 4. And this one is a little bit larger. It is a 6 by 9 by 12. And these are all centimeters, 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 and centimeters. Okay. Now, the first question says, what is the scale factor from the smaller to the larger? So you can pick any corresponding sides. I could pick 2 and 6, 3 and 9, or 4 and 12. I'm going to go with 2 and 6. Okay? So remember, to find the scale factor, it's the smaller one times the scale factor equals the larger one. Smaller one times the scale factor equals the larger one. Okay? So if I divide by 2, the scale factor would be 3. And you can see 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. It's a factor of 3. Okay? Part B says, the area of any face of the larger prism is how many times the area of the corresponding face. All right, well, let's look at the faces. This face is a 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is 6. And this one's a 6 by 9. 6 times 9 is 54. So this is asking me how many times larger is this than this? Or another way to put it, 6 times what number would equal 54? And you might know that 6 times 9 is 54, but if you didn't, you could cancel out this 6 by dividing by 6, divide by 6. 54 divided by 6 is 9, so that number is 9. It's 9 times larger. Okay? And part C, the volume of the larger solid is how many times the volume of the smaller one. Okay, so then I do 2 times 3 times 4. 2 times 3 times 4 is 24 centimeters cubed. And the larger one is 6 times 9 times 12. 6 times 9 times 12 is 648. Okay, so 24 times what number equals 648? Well, the way I could solve that, to get this by itself, divide by 24. divide by 24. 648 divided by 24. Okay, 24 goes into 64 2 times. 2 times 24 is 48. Subtract. 14 minus 8 is 16. Bring down the 8. 24 goes in there. Let's try 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16. Oh, perfectly. How about that? Nothing to bring down. So it is 27 times larger. That's it. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to call, text, or email me, or join me online in our live Google Hangout meeting between 9 and 10 o'clock every single day. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you back here next time.